On this channel, we've made sensory bottles in every single different way I could possibly imagine, but today we're trying something different and we are making sensory tubes. I'm gonna show you what these are all about and how you can use them in learning too. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet and welcome back. I've done lots of sensory videos on my channel already. In fact, I'll put a playlist of them down below in the description box so you can go back and check them out. Plus, I do have an Amazon store where I've listed all of the things that I used when I did my sensory bottles. Sensory bottles were a big hit in my house when my kids were really little. We've since kind of graduated from the basic sensory bottles, well, except the glitter ones. We still like the glitter ones, but I thought I could kind of make a new adapted version of this. So I went onto Pinterest and found something that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to try, and that uses sensory tubes, or test tubes is what they really are. But not only that, there is a learning aspect to these that I want to show you today. So we're going to hop on into it and show you how to make them, and then right after that I'm going to show you how to use them. All right, I'm bringing out the tray for this because I want all of my stuff to kind of not get everywhere. You guys always ask me where I get these trays. They come from Michael's. You can also find them on their website. You can find them on Amazon. I'm gonna put them in my Amazon store along with the other supplies I'm using. Just be aware when you're shopping on Amazon to look at the sizes that you're buying before you purchase. So first things first, you're gonna need some test tubes. I got this huge bag of test tubes from Amazon too. There's a lot in here, so it kind of depends on how many you want to do. They're just clear plastic test tubes. They've got all the markings on them as if you were going to use them in some chemistry experiments, and they also come with these white lids that screw on the top. So depending on how many of these you want to do, depends on how many you want to make. So I'm just going to start off with 4, and then I have the 4 lids. And then you're gonna need something to put inside of your test tubes. We're doing sight words today. So you can do sight words, spelling words, vocabulary words. You can just do plain old alphabet letters. These are alphabet beads from the Dollar Tree. They are really tiny. They're $3.25 in here. There's a lot of pieces. And then there's also these that I got from Walmart. These are glitter alphabet beads, which are quite a bit bigger. Now this becomes important later and I'll explain a little bit more in depth. But for now I'm going to use these bigger ones for our demonstration purposes. And then what else you're going to need? You're going to need some glue. This is to glue the lids on, and then you're going to need some distilled water. So distilled water is a great thing to have because it's going to last longer than just plain tap water. It's very cheap. You can get this whole jug here for $1, but it just makes them last a lot longer and it'll keep them nice and pretty. So I'm going to set this aside. And then you're also going to need some glitter. This set of glitter came from Walmart. You can also get them at Dollar Tree too. You can get any color you want. It's also optional, but I kind of think it makes it a little bit more fun. And then you're going to need some glycerin. My bottle's kind of dirty here. Glycerin is what helps keep the glitter from sticking. So if you want to make sure that glitter doesn't stick when you shake it in your little test tube, then you're definitely going to need a little bit of this. Now, this comes from the baking section. It's a baking brand, Wilson. I'll put this in my Amazon store as well, so you can go right to it. But a little goes a long way. I've had this bottle ever since I started making sensory bottles, so it's a good thing to have if you're going to be doing this a lot. So I'm going to show you how to create these first, and then I'm going to give you some ideas of how to use them after we make them. So I can't wait to show you how easy this is and how fun and how cool they turn out to be. If you guys are new around here, make sure you click subscribe to see more videos like this. We do lots of educational activities for children, ideas to learn through play, and giveaways, a little bit of Dollar Tree hauls too. If you're new, you can say hello in the comments and let me know that you're new. I would love to say hi and pop your comments up here on the screen. If you're not new, you can say hi too. I love hearing from you, and seeing your little comments make my day. It's one of the best parts of YouTube, if you ask me. So I got some letters here. The first thing you need to do is to pick what words you're going to do. And so I get a list of spelling words and vocabulary words and sight words from my student's teacher. So I kind of know which words she needs to work on. And so I'm just going to go ahead and pull aside those letters so that I can have them ready to go when I put them into my test tubes. These are going to be some great things that you could do for spelling words too when you're learning how to spell. I'm going to show you how you can do that later. I actually made a whole entire video about spelling words that has some good ideas in it too. So I'm doing the word please because we've had a hard time spelling that one in our spelling words. This is box with my B going sideways here. Came and come, which my daughter has been having a hard time distinguishing between. So these are the 4 ones I'm going to work on right now. And these can be any words you want, but I definitely recommend them being words that you're working on. Next, we're going to place them in our test tube. Now, I did briefly tell you that you could use these alphabet beads from the Dollar Tree, and you can. However, I would suggest using these if you're doing like a word scramble. The reason being is because when you put them inside the test tube, they move around. They're too small. As you can see here, that one is much smaller than the other one. So these bigger ones are great because they're not going to scramble up when you shake them. And the smaller ones are definitely going to scramble up, which is another activity you can do. So it's up to you. Maybe you do want this for spelling practice. So you just have your child shake up the wand and then they can try and spell the word from the letters in the wand, which is a totally different activity. For my purposes, we're not quite ready for that yet. So I'm going to go ahead and use these bigger beads and I'm going to put them in the test tube. So when you're reading them, you read them from the top down, which means the last letter goes in first. So we're going to put our letters in. So we're going to be able to read it as if we're reading down. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for all of my other ones. Pretty simple. Now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and add in our glitter first. And so the reason why I like these little containers is because they just kind of, you can pour them right in. Okay, we're glitterified. Next comes the water. And here's a little tip for you. Is you might not have a funnel small enough, but if you use a straw and put it inside your water bottle and use it like a suction, and it will just dip it down in there. So I got some water inside my straw and I'm using my finger to kind of suck it in here. And you're gonna add in the water until it's almost filled up. And then you're gonna add like a drop or 2 of the glycerin for the glitter. I did a couple drops. Okay. Now you can put on your lid, but you're gonna need to put some glue on first. So I put some glue on the edge and before I popped it in there and you just let it dry. You just wanna make sure you don't get the glue down in the bottom, so just be very, very careful when you close these up. And you repeat the process for all of your sensory test tubes. So I found what was best is to actually put the lid on and then put your glue around the edge. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with something like this where the glue is on the inside of the bottle and it doesn't look really pretty. Oh, I am gonna let myself be the guinea pig on this. I put way too much glitter in my first one. My recommendation to you guys as you're making these are not to fill them up with glitter or else you cannot see your letters. So these unfortunately were fails as I was filming this, so don't do as I did, but learn from my mistakes and do minimal glitter. So these actually turned out amazing and I cannot wait to show you how to use them. Once you got your words, use just a little bit of glitter, no glitter at all, it's up to you. You can also use food coloring if you like to tint your water, but it might make it harder to read, so just do a light tint if you're gonna do that. But minimal glitter seems to do the trick. Once you got them all in here and the glue has dried, you can shake them up to get that glitter going and moving all around. Now let me show you some ideas on how you can use these in your house. Now, say for example, I only did 4 of these for you, but you should do a whole set of many, many more words. And the first thing you can do to prepare is to get some pieces of paper, index cards, whatever you have, and you're gonna go ahead and write down the words on the card that you did. So you will have prepped this ahead of time, and of course you'll probably have a plenty more. And then your child will take the cards and lay them all out in front of them. And then this becomes just a simple matching and reading the word. So this one is funny, and this one is plant. And you'd match up the words that way. Another thing you can do is make double of your sensory wands. And so they can match the wands to the other wand, which is another fun one. And this one is what? So really easy matching to flashcards. I think a great way for using this for spelling or vocabulary is to get a dry erase board or even just a paper and pencil, and then you have your child pick one, and then they're gonna just copy over onto a list. So this one is L-O-S-T is lost, so I know I can write up here L-O-S-T and do all of the words that way, so you're getting a lot of recognition and spelling practice along with writing practice. A third way is to have a word list for your child. I just went ahead and wrote out here. And then when they find the word in your little section over here, there's what, then they themselves can write what over next to it. And you would do that for all of the letters. Now remember earlier I talked about using the smaller beads in here, and that would actually scramble up the word. And so something like this would be very beneficial if you're gonna do a word scramble. When they shake it up and it scrambles the word, of finding the letters and trying to find out which ones they are if they aren't able to do it on their own. And then if they can do it on their own and wanna make it harder, don't give them a word bank and just have them figure out what word got scrambled up. So what do you guys think? Kind of fun, huh? I like the aspect of this and the learning that's involved in it too, and it was super simple to make. Make sure you guys click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.